Yes. Good morning, everybody. My name is Frank Ebudage, and I'm the facilitator for EHS310, Communicable and Non-Communicable Diseases Control. Today is the 9th day of October 2020, and by my time, it is 11:55 a.m. So today we're to have the second live Zoom facilitation session of EHS 310. Today we're to discuss stages of disease control. Stages of disease con excuse me, we're discussing stages of disease prevention. Stages of disease prevention. And so it is 11:56, and I'm waiting for um, students to join me because they're expected to start coming in from now, because from 12 noon, the class will start. From 12 noon, the class will start. So um, this is the second live Zoom facilitation session for EHS 310, like I said earlier on. We held the first one, the maiden edition of Zoom facilitation for EHS 310 yesterday. Okay, there we discussed communicable and non-communicable diseases, including their classification. And so good news is that the video is available. The video for that particular session is available. So if you missed it for any reason whatsoever, don't feel bad, because the video is available, and you can always watch it. It's even available on YouTube, so you can go back and watch it. Okay, and then uh, you know get abreast with what we discussed about communicable and non-communicable diseases. Today, it's also going to be, we're not going to spend more than 10 minutes for this particular session, because the video for this particular topic also is available. It's already available in your platform. So you're expected to visit your platform and then click on the video and then view and digest the contents of the video. So it's available. So this particular session, we're just only going to skim on the surface of the presentation, because everything has been explained in details in the video. There is also a lesson note that is available, so that you can use it in conjunction with the video, so that you can get the best out of this particular topic. I tell you, once you visit the platform frankewodari.com, this particular topic I'm about to discuss, or we're about to discuss as we come in, has already been, heavily discussed, discussed in the platform. So you go in there, click on the videos, click on the lesson notes, you will see content, good content that once you consume, you will always have one or two things to talk about when it concerns stages of diseases prevention. So in the very next minute, we are going to start, because then it will be 12 noon, because this class is supposed to start by 12 noon. And at the moment, there is nobody yet at the waiting room. Okay, so still gonna be waiting. Okay, I'm waiting participants or students to come in and join me in this particular live session of Zoom facilitation. Any moment from now, it's going to be 12 noon, and once it's 12 noon, we are going to start. Yes, it is 12 noon. So as we await more students to come and join us, let us go ahead and start. So today, we're discussing stages of disease prevention. Stages of disease prevention. So this simply means the different activities that can be done at different levels to prevent or control the spread of diseases in a community. So this is particular, what we're talking about is prevention. So we're talking about how we are going to prevent at different levels, because there are different activities that can be performed at different levels, to prevent the spread of diseases. So if you can take a look at the screen, we're discussing stages of diseases prevention, and there are about 4 stages of disease prevention. As you can see, there is the primordial prevention, the primary prevention, the secondary prevention, and the tertiary prevention. So we'll continue to explain them. So this is just like a diagram that explains the relationship between or among different stages of prevention. That is, all the activities that can be performed at each level, and then the people, the beneficiaries that will benefit from each of the activities. So like I said earlier on, this particular topic has been exhaustively taught in your video. So you can go ahead and go to the platform, click on the video and watch it. So for primordial prevention, we are talking about it's the strategy that is used mainly to control or prevent chronic diseases. Chronic diseases are diseases of long duration. So most of the time, the first level of intervention or the first prevention level is the primordial level, and this level is used for chronic diseases. In this particular level, the focus, as usual, is on the avoidance of risk factors. The focus of primordial level is the avoidance of risk factors. Okay, so that is, we don't want risk factors to develop in an individual that has never developed it in the first place. That is because we know that there's a serious association. There is a significant association between the existence of risk factors and development of diseases. So when these risk factors, that is what I'm trying to say is, the chances of diseases occurring in an individual are higher when risk factors for that disease are present. In other words, risk factors predisposes a human being into developing a particular disease. So the essence of primordial prevention is to avoid the development of risk factors in an individual that has not developed it initially. So primordial level or primordial prevention simply means the prevention or the emergence of development of risk factors in populations, in population groups in which they have not yet appeared. An example of such risk factor or examples include obesity, smoking, physical inactivity. So all these are risk factors in individuals that we are trying to prevent, that is, in individuals that don't have it yet. So we don't want them to develop it at all, because if they do, then their chances of developing a particular disease will be increased. So the main mode of intervention is usually through individual and mass education. We go to the next level of prevention, and that is primary prevention. Primary prevention. And primary prevention are efforts undertaken. It simply means efforts undertaken to prevent the occurrence of diseases. So this is 12:04. We're still expecting our students to come in. So we'll continue as we expect them to come in. Like I said, this particular session is not going to be too long because a video is already available that has dealt with this session extensively. We dealt with this topic extensively. So you can as well go to the video. Oh yeah, we have somebody has joined in. That's very good. Agbetoke Elizabeth. Agbetoke Bolanle Elizabeth is about to join in. Okay, she's here. Hello, Bolanle, Elizabeth Agbetoke Bolanle, how are you doing? Can you hear me? I hope she can hear me. Agbetoke Bolanle, let me ask her to start the video. Hello, yeah. Hi, how you doing? Bolanle, can you hear me? I think her screen is mute. Let me see if I can mute her. Hello, Bolanle. Okay, well, if you can hear me, you're welcome to this facilitation session. That is live. The facilitation session for topic 2, stages of diseases prevention. So you're highly welcome. If you can hear me, I just actually started the discussion for stages of diseases prevention. And I was saying that there are 4 stages of disease prevention. So disease prevention are just those activities that you can do, you can perform to prevent diseases from spreading in a community. And I have said that there are 4 types of disease. There are 4 stages of disease prevention. And then that is the primordial. I will just show you in a minute so that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. So if you can see me, these are the stages of disease prevention, Bolanle. So there are 4 stages. There's the primordial stage, the primary stage, secondary stage, and then the tertiary stage. And don't forget, like I said, this topic is already available on a video. Okay, so you can go to your platform and click on the video and watch it extensively because it has been dealt with extensively. Okay, so we're now discussing primordial, or just before you joined Bolanle, we discussed primordial prevention, and we said that it is usually used in the treatment of chronic diseases. I think Bolanle has left. She's no longer, but we'll continue. I think we just have less than 5 minutes, so let us quickly go ahead and finish up on the other stages of diseases prevention. So, we'll continue. Mostly used in prevention of chronic diseases. That's for primordial, which we mentioned earlier on. And all these things I will discuss earlier on. So for primary prevention, we said that there are efforts undertaken to prevent the occurrence of diseases. Efforts undertaken to prevent the occurrence of diseases. And then they are defined as the action taken prior to the onset of diseases, which removes the possibility that a disease will ever occur. And it involves the interventions. Okay, it involves interventions done at the pre-pathogenesis phase of a disease, that is just before the disease is beginning. And modes of intervention include health promotion and specific protection. It also involves the concept of positive health change. So this is just a diagram that also illustrates the relationship between the methods that are used to carry out primary prevention. As you can see here, they are chiefly health promotion and specific protection. So these 2 methods are usually what we use to carry out primary intervention. And as you can see, they have different activities underneath each of them. Health promotion has its own, and specific protection has its own. So we move to secondary prevention. So secondary prevention, okay. Let me see whether there's still any. All right. At the moment, there's nobody still waiting at the waiting room. I hope that Bolale tries to connect back because probably she was having challenges with internet or with her connectivity, or these are just her first time. I just simply wish she can call back in. She can join us again. So we move. We are discussing secondary prevention. And we say that secondary prevention is defined as action. Okay, the usually early detection and treatment, and is defined as action which halts the progress of a disease at its incipient stage and prevents complications. Specific intervention in early diagnosis, and it may also help to provide primary intervention for community members. All these have been discussed in the video. Please go check out the video. Now we'll go to tertiary prevention. For tertiary prevention, defined as measures available to reduce or limit um, impairments and disabilities, or to minimize suffering caused by existing departures from good health, and to promote the patient's adjustment to irremediable conditions. Yeah, it's a pretty long definition, but the gist of the definition is just that the essence of tertiary prevention is to prevent complications or treat as early as possible complications that may have occurred as a result of an individual suffering a particular disease, and also in case of impairments or disabilities, help the individual to adjust back into the society via rehabilitation. That is, the patient is rehabilitated back into the society so that it can function as near normal as possible. So that is just the essence of tertiary prevention. So what have we learned today? We have learned the different levels of prevention, and we have understood that there are four different stages of diseases prevention, and each of these stages can be a primordial prevention, primary prevention, secondary prevention, and tertiary prevention. And so that brings us to the end of today's facilitation exercise. Um, so like I said, this particular video for lesson 2 is available at the portal, at the platform frankewodari.com. So please visit that portal or the platform to access the video and watch. So until the next facilitation class, until the next facilitation session for EHS310, I remain your facilitator, Frank Ewodari. So it's goodbye for now. Thank you and God bless.